Hello everyone. Today I'll show you how to create binoculars in Nuke. First of all, reformat your footage to make sure it matches your project settings. In this case the format is HD 1080. Now press X while your mouse is hovering the node graph and type lens distortion. Check the TCL box and press Enter to create a legacy lens distortion node. Adjust the sliders for radial distortion 1 and 2 until you are satisfied with the amount of distortion. You can also just copy the settings I am using here. Now go ahead and create a constant node, as well as a roto. While holding Shift, create a perfect circle and drag it over the middle of your format. Create a transform node and split the width and height scales by pressing on the 2. Set the width to 1.1 and the height to 0.85. Create another transform node and scale it down a little. Create additional 2 transform nodes. Offset one of them by 400 pixels in X and the other one by -400. Merge them together and make sure that Set Bounding Box to is set to Union. You can use the first transforms to adjust the overall size. Add an invert node after the merge and create a defocus node that you plug into your lens distortion. Set the defocus amount to 50 and connect its mask input into our binocular shape. For soft edges, blur the mask by 150. Create another defocus node and set its value to 40. Plug it underneath your shape and merge the result over your distorted image. Last defocus node I promise, value to 250 and merge it on top. Now our bounding box is a bit out of control, so let's add a crop under the lens distortion and the merges. We are adding chromatic aberration now. There are great tools for this, but we will do it manually this time. Create 3 shuffle nodes and name them red, green and blue. In the green you only have the input green connected to the output green, in the blue only to the blue and in the red only to the red. Add a transform node and increase the scale to 1.001 and set the filter to Mitchell. Copy and paste it under all your shuffles. Create a merge node and set its operation to plus. Now plus all the shuffles back together into one image, it should look the same as before. Now when you adjust the scale in the red transform, you will start getting the desired offset in red. Blur all of them a little. We only want this effect on the outer frames of the binoculars, so let's key mix back the original image where we want it. Use the original shape of the binoculars as a mask input to do this. You can adjust this by eroding and blurring the shape. Of course you can also simply draw a roto shape to bring back the area you want to keep. Copy and paste the lens distortion node and adjust its values to distort the image with the binoculars. Create another crop for the bounding box. Play with the scale to tweak the look. I will add some things to make the binoculars look more military grade here. First off create a rectangle and set it to be 60 pixels in height and a few pixels in width. Create a transform and rotate the shape by 90 degrees before merging it on top to create a cross. Now once again, offset one of them by 400 into positive and one of them by 400 into negative. Merge the shape over the original image. You can adjust the colors with a grade node and tweak the positional offset as you wish. Now, create a text node and write random stuff that looks like it could be coordinates and military code. Feel free to copy my settings here. Adjust the color and blur it a little before merging the text on top. We still need to give the binoculars a more glassy look. For that, I downloaded this scratch image online. Reformat it to your resolution and scale it up. Now add a keyed node, and while looking at the alpha channel, adjust the sliders. Check the invert box so you are actually seeing the scratches you are extracting. You can either use a gizmo or some Nuke standard node here. I will start with the glass gizmo, which is great for tasks like this. You can get it on Nukepedia. Use a dissolve to adjust the intensity of the effect. Alternatively, you can simply use a grade node or an iDistort for a similar and much quicker effect.